calling from the troop. I'd like to confirm.
Hey, I've been getting to run around for 2 hours. I'm
Well, can
coming
you tell me
down.
approximately how much money was missing? Was it over $1,000?
Called in that tank truck collision on the Harvard Freeway. I swung it over to Sam.
Okay.
Driver had a blood alcohol of 1.6.
Poor guy probably didn't even know he's dead.
It'll hit him in the morning. I'll see you tomorrow.
Okay, have a good night. Yeah? Uh-huh. Yeah? I'll be right down.
If you read it now, I can stay late and fix it, assuming there's anything wrong with it.
I can't, Rossi. I'll do it first thing in the morning.
This is the first installment of my series on the city council members. I don't know. I think it's the best thing I've done in months. Haven't you been looking forward to this?
Of course. I thought of nothing else. But my son-in-law's in town. He's taking me out to dinner tonight.
Oh, that's nice, Lou. Look, you can read it before he gets here. It reads really fast. Only 3,000 words.
The front desk just called me, Rossi. He's waiting downstairs.
Oh, Lou.
He told me he had a big surprise for me, and I love surprises. That's why I want to save your story till the morning. He made reservations at a nice little French place.
You think it'll be dark there?
Why?
Because if it isn't, you could read it while I wait at the bar.
Yeah.
Anything else, monsieur?
Not for me. You?
I'm fine.
We would like the musician to come over, though.
Of course.
What?
Your reflexes are going low.
Oh,
Must be your age.
get out. Maybe playing for two guys makes him nervous.
We'll just have to do it without music.
Is it time for the surprise? What is it? Another grandchild? No, Sarah would have told me that. You moving to L.A.? No, she would have told me that, too. All right, I give up.
Remember all that money you loaned me, Lou?
I never loaned you any money.
When I first got out of college and the baby came faster than we planned.
That wasn't a loan, it was a gift.
Do you know how much it eventually added up to altogether?
I don't want to know.
Through those early years, Lou, you loaned me $5,246.80.
You just bought me dinner, so that makes us even. That much?
I kept very close track of that money, Lou. And I want to pay you back now. With interest.
Oh, come on, Larry. That's a check for $15,000.
Hey, I've done very well.
I'll say. Thanks anyway, but you keep it, Larry.
No. I thought you'd do that. Let's see you tear this up, Lou.
I suggest you donate all the money to the Civic Light Opera, Mr. Grant.
Yes, that's very high on my list, Mrs. Pinchon. It's right after hiring a plane and sprinkling it over Griffith Park.
You have never seen a really good production of Pirates of Penzance, have you?
I've never even seen a bad one.
You know, $15,000 is quite a windfall.
Do something outrageous with it, something you never would have dreamed of doing.
Well, we're back to light opera again.
Now, I'm serious. You know, I've had money all my life. It's not what it's cracked up to be. It doesn't buy you friends or love or keep you from being ill. But if you use it correctly, it can provide some very amusing interludes.
You know, Lou, $15 grand is no fortune, but if it's handled right, it can really take care of you a few years down the line.
Do you mean in my twilight years?
Exactly.
What do you suggest, Charlie?
One hand of poker, 5-card draw. My place, my deck of cards.
For you.
Seriously, I know the best investment man in town. Maybe you should meet him.
You think I need to?
Well, he's not only sound, he's absolutely brilliant. Yeah, he's been managing my money for 5 years. Guy's a genius.
People who handle other people's money are seldom geniuses. Picasso was a genius. Vladimir Horowitz is a genius.
All right. Let Vladimir Horowitz invest your money for you, then.
He'd probably give it to the Civic Light Opera.
Hey, look, as it turns out, he and I are having a kind of business dinner at my house tonight. Why don't you come, too?
Oh, I don't want to intrude, Charlie.
Marion's making her chicken pot pie.
7:30 good?
Of course, they don't all work out as well as the London deal. Some of David's investments only return 11%.
Well, Charlie and I have been pretty lucky together. I don't know if it's me or you, Charlie.
David, I hope you won't be insulted, but money talk makes me nervous. I'm going in the kitchen and retile the floor.
Yeah, Marion doesn't approve of my high-yield investments. She'd be very happy if we put all of our money into an old sock. Isn't that right, honey?
No. Under the mattress would be...
Charlie explained your new financial situation to me, Lou.
Oh?
But to tell you the truth, I don't think I'm the right person for you. I hope you won't be offended if I say that right now what you have is too small a unit to invest.
15,000 is small?
Sounds terrible, doesn't it? I'm really sorry.
You know, I have to admit, David, I'm a little bit disappointed.
Well, I'll be glad to help Lou out however I can. As a favor, of course. Maybe not so much with investments, but with planning.
What do you mean?
Little things you might have overlooked. For example, who is the beneficiary on your GI life insurance?
How'd you know I was in the Army?
Are you kidding?
My beneficiary, my wife. My ex-wife now.
Yeah. Guys get divorced, they forget to change their beneficiary. Happens all the time. I'll send you the form so you can change it.
Thank you.
Also, you probably don't have an up-to-date will, right? I can do that for you, too.
You know, I don't mean to sound ungracious, David, but anybody can do that for Lou. I mean, here you are, a genius at investments, and you won't let my very best friend in on anything good. I find that very upsetting.
Hey, Charlie.
Why, you know, it's only $15,000 now, but you could turn that into a very handsome amount by the time Lou retires.
Charlie, it's okay.
Look, Charlie, if it means that much to you, I will see what I can do. I'll try and figure out some way to accommodate Lou. Maybe I can fractionalize one of the deals.
Thanks, Dave.
Why are you thanking him? It's my money.
This is not just a motor car, you know.
It's not?
No, sir.
What else is it?
It's a way of life.
That's so.
Have you, owned one of these motor cars before?
No. But I've seen them around.
And you've always wanted one?
It's kind of a fantasy thing, you know.
Indeed.
Anyway, I've fell into a few dollars quite unexpectedly, so I thought I'd at least take a look.
And why not?
Listen, just how much is this motor car?
$45,000.
I want out, David, and I want out now.
Out of the Houston deal?
Out of everything, and I want all my money back.
I'm not sure I can let you do that, Richard, for your own good.
Don't make me laugh.
Richard, you're a doctor. a specialist in your field. I wouldn't presume to come into your office and tell you your business. I'm a specialist in my field.
You're a crook. Well-dressed and in a fancy office. But you're a crook just the same as a guy who goes out and robs a liquor store. And I'm going to make sure that people know about that, too.
Charlie Hume on line 3, David.
Hi, Charlie. How are you? No, I haven't found anything for Lou yet. But I'm keeping my eyes open, old buddy. Okay.
Lou Grant will continue in a moment here on A&E.
Hey, Lou, look at this. This baby can toast 6 pieces of bread at one time.
Oh, great. I could toast bread for the whole week and freeze it.
It's got 9 dial settings, everything from super light to burnt.
Must be the deluxe model.
I like a piece of toast in the morning.
Why don't you buy it?
$75.
75 bucks for a toaster?
Hey, Lou, it's not just a toaster.
I know. It's a way of life.
Can't decide what to get me for Christmas, huh?
I'm trying to make up a list of the things I always wanted and never got. Things that maybe I'd want to get now with the money, you know?
Electric trains, sled,
Yeah, well, I figured I'd start with the things I wanted as a kid, work my way up.
box of 64 crayons.
Oh, that one was only because Laurie Obler had them. I probably don't need them now.
Mel Ott autographed baseball glove. Mel Ott.
Outfielder with the old New York Giants. Yeah, he used to lift his right leg when he'd hit.
Very graceful.
I didn't think I could live without that glove. It's funny, isn't it? When you're young, there's so many things you want, things you gotta have or you'll die. I was always saving for something or wishing for something. I guess you outgrow it.
Not me. I still want a baseball mitt.
Lou? Look, I know a lot of people are giving you financial advice. You probably don't want to hear any more.
No. What do you got?
I know a guy. He's really sharp. Really plays the angles. You know what he does? He doesn't keep all his money in a checking account. When it gets to a certain amount, he slides it over to savings. See, because they don't pay interest on the checking accounts. Like he says, keep your money working for you. You know?
Yeah. Gotcha. Can I help you, sir?
I was looking for the financial editor.
Well, that's Adam Wilson, but I think he's gone for the day.
Oh.
I'm the city editor. Maybe I can help you.
Well, I don't want to wait. Maybe you can.
Okay. I'm listening.
I'm Dr. Barnes, Mr.
Grant.
Mr. Grant. Over the past 5 years, I've invested almost $200,000 with someone I'm convinced is a con man. I think he's involved in one of the largest investment frauds this state has ever seen.
You have proof?
I'm putting it together. I can show you everything I have now, if you're interested.
What's this guy's name?
David Milburn.
I'm interested. How long were you and Milburn in business together?
About 5 years. Started with a modest real estate investment. Turned out rather well, and then another and another. Pretty soon I was putting everything I had into deals with Milburn.
Doing well.
Every 3 months, nice quarterly dividend. But about a year ago, the dividends began arriving a little late. 7 months ago, the dividends stopped.
And you went to Milburn and asked for your money back, and he said no.
David Milburn isn't so foolish as to use words like yes or no. Now, what he did was to show me a lot of graphs, a lot of charts, a lot of bank statements, all of which indicated my investments would be peaking within 6 months. I'd be an idiot to want to pull my money out at that time. I left Milburn's office feeling very lucky to have him on my side.
Then how can you be so certain that he's a fraud?
Last week, I was in London at a medical convention. While I was there, I decided to take a look at some of the properties Milburn and I had purchased. One building in particular, right on Parliament Square. Here's the only building at that address.
Westminster Abbey? I didn't even know it was for sale.
Oh, come on, Lou. David Milburn a crook?
I'm just telling you what Dr. Barnes told me.
But, Lou, I don't know your Dr. Barnes, but I do know David Milburn. Dr. Barnes didn't set up a trust fund for my daughter Joni. David Milburn did. Dr. Barnes didn't turn my modest little investment into a six-figure nest egg. David Milburn did.
Barnes has no reason to lie to me, Charlie.
Lou, I have got certificates of deposit, bonds, a passbook, a 5-year record of prosperity. I'm not going to throw that out the window because some fella I don't even know is yelling foul.
Why don't you at least talk to Milburn?
And say what? That I heard he's a crook?
Exactly.
Dick Barnes has a right to be angry. He lost a hell of a lot of money. I don't enjoy being called a crook, of course, but what can I say? If I try to defend myself, I'm afraid I'm giving credence to all that nonsense.
What happened to Barnes' money, David?
It went right down the tubes, Charlie. I can't believe the run of bad luck we had. You know, I had some of my own money invested. Not as much as Dick, but enough to hurt.
Yeah, but he said that he asked you for it back before it went down the tubes.
And I wish to God I could have given it to him. But most of the money was in a West Indian bank that got into some problems. There was a serious run on the bank, and they would no longer honor requests for withdrawals. The only way to get money out of there would have been to steal it. Maybe I should have given that a shot.
Sorry to be bringing this up. I just thought the best thing was to be, you know, up front with these rumors.
People like Dr. Barnes forget one important thing about investing. In order for me to do better than a bank can do, I have to take certain risks. And not every deal for every person has worked out. It's just one of those things.
There is one other thing that I have to mention. Barnes said that... he said that you never actually bought the property that you claimed that you bought with his money.
Now that really makes me mad. I don't mind so much a guy being angry. Hell, he's got a right to be angry. But to spread vicious accusations.
I'm only repeating what he said.
Listen, Charlie, if there is any doubt in your mind, I will get all your money back to you right now. I'll sign my house over to you. You can put it in your safety deposit box.
No, that's really not necessary.
I mean it. I mean it. I will take you down to my bank right now.
Look, David, I trust you. I always have. I'm just sorry to be bringing all this up.
It's all right.
Let's get Burroughs downtown to cover Garber's conference. He's been doing a great job since we switched him over. And make sure Rosenthal knows that we aren't satisfied with the way he's handling the mayor's office. Something wrong?
No.
Rossi's city council piece was excellent. Board of Supervisors is a natural. What's the matter?
Nothing. Nothing.
Don't tell me nothing. Why you keep staring at me like that?
I was just wondering, now that you got a few bucks, if you were going to start dressing a little, well, a little...
Better?
Not necessarily better, but, different.
Which would be better?
It's just that there are so many other colors for shirts now besides white.
Thanks. Now, if you're through with my wardrobe, I'd like to get back to work.
Can I speak to Lou alone for a second, Art?
Sure. If it's about his shirts, I already told him.
Did you meet with Milburn?
Yeah, I met with him.
Well?
You know, nailing a guy when you have the goods on him, that's one thing. But to spread unfounded gossip, that's irresponsible.
You confronted him with Barnes' evidence?
Here's the evidence, Lou. These are copies of stock certificates, real estate holdings, bank deposits. Feel those, Lou. Go ahead, feel them. That has weight. They're real. They're not the nebulous ravings of a frustrated loser.
Barnes gave me a lot of material, Charlie. I'm still sifting through it.
Well, while you're sifting through it, Lou, think about this. You just made me feel like an ingrate to a man who's been nothing but a friend to me. It was embarrassing. I don't want to hear any more about it or about your Dr. Barnes. Okay?
Okay.
Sorry I'm late.
That's okay.
What's up, Lou?
Any rumors about Milburn reach your desk, Adam?
There are always rumors, Lou. That's what keeps the market looking like a roller coaster. But nothing's gone past the rumor stage yet.
Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe Barnes is just someone who speculated and lost, and he's trying to hang the other guy because he lost $200,000.
Yeah, some people are funny that way.
Well, we've got a lot of material here to look over. We should speak to the people involved, check out the properties, the partnerships.
This is very complicated. Whatever happened to putting your money in a Christmas club?
Why have Christmas once a year when you can have it every day?
Billy, I want you to talk to this lawyer, Patrick Terhune. He's a specialist in this type of fraud.
Okay.
Now, he's a colorful old guy. He's in his 70s. Still something of a ladies' man.
I'll watch my step.
Rossi, you run down some background on Milburn. Prior deals. See if there are any problems in the past.
Okay.
And Adam, see if you can put this stuff in words that we can understand. Give me everything you have on Milburn.
That's easy. There's lots of stuff on him. I'll pull the clips.
I'm going to see Dr. Barnes at home tonight. I'd like to clear this up as soon as possible.
What's the hurry?
It's personal.
Still looking for some place to put your money, huh?
I'm glad I could convince you to come, Mr. Grant.
If you've got any hard evidence, I want to see it.
You won't be disappointed.
I'm not so sure. Milburn didn't have any trouble making a believer out of Charlie Hume.
I'm not surprised he sidestepped your friend.
If you want to call it that. He said it was just sour grapes with you. Nothing illegal, just some hard luck.
That's so?
Mm-hmm. It's a convincing argument, Dr. Barnes.
I've been calling around, Mr. Grant, to the other doctors who invested with Milburn. I'm not the only one who was taken in this fraud. A rather large bunch of sour grapes, wouldn't you say, Mr. Grant?
Lou Grant will continue in a moment here on A&E.
Has Lou decided yet what he wants to do with his money?
No. He's keeping his options open. You know how it is with single guys. You know, I saw David Milburn yesterday.
What did you buy now? Krugerons? Yen? General Motors?
Lou had some cockeyed information about David being involved in some big banking fraud.
And?
It's just nonsense.
Are you sure?
Honey, David offered to sign over his house as security for the money we have with him.
I hope you let him.
Marion.
I know. I'm sorry, Charlie. We've gone through this enough already. Let's not go around one more time.
You'll never trust him, will you?
I don't trust any of them, Charlie. I like a bank or a savings and loan where it's insured, safe, nothing flashy.
And where your money earns 5 3/4% and inflation is 12%. I mean, it's a losing battle, honey. That's why we took out the second mortgage on the house in February.
I thought it was your bonus money you gave him.
Well, I gave him that, too.
In other words, everything we have is tied up with Milburn?
No, honey. Not tied up. Tied up is a loaded phrase. I can get my money from him anytime I want.
Well, Milburn's a crook, all right, Miss Newman. There's no doubt about it. And it'll all come out very shortly.
Why haven't you sued him?
I've been a lawyer for 50 years. I used to joke that Abe Lincoln and I were classmates. Not true. I knew Abe, but we weren't classmates.
I guess all that experience is why the doctors chose you to go after Milburn.
Did I tell you how I went after Barton Kreisel in a security fund scandal?
Twice.
Just wanted to make sure you were listening.
Could we get back to the Milburn case?
Oh, I've got more stories.
I'm sure.
Maybe I could tell you over dinner some night. Oh, well. Okay, let's get back to David Milburn. Now, where were we?
In the beginning, Milburn made a lot of money for his investors, right? Well, he must have been doing something clever, or else how could he get all the money to pay those fabulous dividends?
He gets the money from other investors. You see, it's the old Ponzi scheme. He can keep paying off, not because his investments are doing well. Actually, there are very few investments. He uses new money from new people to pay dividends to his previous clients, and so on down the line until now, where it's all collapsing from its own weight.
And how does Milburn make money then?
He takes a percentage off the top of every deal he makes. First of all, there's his fee for being a general partner. Secondly, he takes an advisory fee. Then a property management fee on each transaction. He takes some cream off the top of every dollar that comes in, which isn't bad when you consider there's rarely any money actually invested.
Just shuffled.
Exactly.
Why isn't he in jail?
Well, if I have anything to say about it, that's where he'll end up. Now, did I tell you I got the indictment against the Todd Kralin outfit in that El Dorado oil swindle?
I think you did. You know, I can't understand how people can be so gullible.
David Milburn takes advantage of that little bit of greed in all of us. He had everybody tripping all over themselves to give him every dime they had or could borrow. You know, I'm responsible for half the legislation written in this state on investment fraud. Free for lunch sometime?
I don't understand, Adam. All these articles on Milburn make him out to be a genius.
Well, a lot of these are just feeds from Milburn's office.
Then why'd you print them? Don't we usually charge people to put ads in the paper?
Look, David Milburn's very highly thought of in financial circles. What he did was news.
I dug up something new on Milburn. It seems he was indicted in Kansas City and St. Louis for improprieties. Got probation by agreeing to make restitution, which he did.
How much money was involved?
About $500,000.
And he only got probation?
Evidently, he was surprised to get that. They say he had some very big connections right up to the State House. Thought he was immune.
I don't understand how we could pull the wool over everybody's eyes like that.
Look, suppose you invested money with someone, and every 3 months you received a dividend of, say, 10%. Meanwhile, thinking that this was completely safe and tax-sheltered. Would you be happy?
I guess so.
And you'd tell your friends?
My good friends, sure.
If it was such a good product, why'd it fail?
Milburn became obsessed with the high lifestyle, the high rolling, the action. He got into trouble with a few buildings that were losing money. In order to keep paying those dividends, he had to expand. At one point, he had a negative cash flow of $100,000 a month.
In other words, each month he was taking in $100,000 less than he was paying out?
He had to turn that around any way he could. I don't think he started out to be a crook, but it sure looks like that's how he ended up.
Didn't anybody ever check?
Sure. The Kansas City deal involved a shopping center out here in Gardena. It was called the Eden Mall. The investors sent a guy out here to check it out. Milburn met him at the airport with a limousine stocked with your favorite brand of hookers. By the time this guy got back to Kansas City, he could hardly walk.
They sent him out here to take a look at Eden, and he found paradise, huh?
Hallelujah.
The dollar's up a little.
You mean it may be worth $1 again?
I wouldn't go that far, but it's showing a lot of strength against the Polish zloty.
Say, that's good news for you, isn't it, Lou? I mean, being a wealthy tycoon and all?
The rich get richer. That's always the way.
All right. I've taken enough kidding already. Give me a break.
What are you going to do with all that money, Lou?
I don't know yet. So far, I've bought a shirt and a toaster.
If I was a young single guy, I'd know what to do with it.
Hey, if I was a young single guy, I'd know what to do with it.
You're the financial editor, Adam. Why don't you give Lou some advice?
Go to Vegas, Lou. Put it all on black.
Isn't that a little conservative?
All right, red.
Go on a cruise?
I'd spend it on a woman.
That's good. Buy things for a woman.
No. I meant I'd buy a woman.
Okay, thank you, Joe.
Can't go wrong buying yen, Lou.
Or antique furniture.
Yeah.
Just don't give it to David Milburn.
What's that supposed to be?
Nothing.
I wouldn't call it nothing. You heard of Milburn, Charlie?
Yeah, I heard of him.
Lou's dug up some stuff on Milburn that'll knock your socks off. When's that going to be ready, Lou?
Well, I don't know.
You just won't get off it, will you, Lou?
A lot of unanswered questions, Charlie.
What is it going to take? You need to see blood?
Come on, Charlie.
You're damaging this man's reputation with innuendo and hearsay.
I'm not so sure. I think it's more than that. And I'm not the only one. Milburn's being sued by Barnes.
Okay, come with me. Let's get this out of your system once and for all.
You act as if I want David Milburn to be a crook.
I just want to put this thing to rest.
Good, me too.
Just promise me one thing.
What's that?
When this is settled, you'll apologize to David.
Believe me, Charlie, that will be my pleasure. Maybe he moved to a bigger office.
Lou Grant will continue in a moment here on A&E.
I've got substantiation, Charlie, but just from one source, and I'm not that confident of him.
Have you talked to Lou?
He said you might know somebody over at Midwest Fidelity and could help me.
Not now, Billy.
Do you think there's any truth to the rumor that there are two Charlie Humes?
You mean Charlie Hume and the strange guy that just walked in that door?
Lately, I haven't been able to get him to give me the time of day.
He's going through a rough period. Spending a lot of time preparing for this Milburn case.
Isn't Milburn about to be indicted? Thought he just turned himself in.
He did. But Charlie's cooperating with the other investors. They're really trying to get him good.
Maybe Charlie should take some time off. Although I don't want to be the one to suggest it.
That might not be a bad idea if he's under an awful lot of pressure.
I can mention it to him, sort of casually. See what he says. Did you get a chance to go over Burroughs' update on the busing store?
No.
Billy also needs a little help on the Midwest Fidelity.
See, he thinks we're not ready. He thinks we're going to lose interest. He thinks he's going to drag it out so we get off with a light sentence, a year or two, maybe. But tomorrow at that hearing, he is in for one very big surprise.
Good.
Because we've got him. We have got him nailed. Our friend David's going to go to jail. Oh, he was smart, sure. But so are we. We banded together to pool our information. We've got every letter, every note, every lie documented 3 ways from Wednesday. He's in over his head, my friend.
That's great, I guess.
I gotta hand it to him, though. On paper, it all looks so good. Diversified, aggressive, but not speculative. Always a step or two ahead of the game. The man ate dinner at my house, Lou. He joked with my kids. You saw him.
Take it easy, Charlie.
Take it easy. I'm going to have to pay $300 a month for the next 10 years on money I borrowed to get on one of David's deals. That money was supposed to buy property in London. Instead, it's buried in a coffee can somewhere.
Thinking yourself crazy isn't going to get it back?
Well, I'm going to get it back, Lou. I'm going to get it back, or I'm going to get my pound of flesh.
You're obsessed, Charlie. It's getting to you. It's affecting your work.
Not up to your standards, Lou?
I didn't mean it that way.
I don't care how you meant it. I'm the managing editor of this paper. I'm the guy who brought you out here and got you your job. Or did you forget that?
I didn't forget.
Well, then why don't you go do your job? Leave me alone so I can do mine.
Sure, Charlie. Whatever you say. He doesn't feel he needs a rest.
I've never seen a scam this large. 700 doctors lost over $20 million.
700 doctors and 1 managing editor.
700 doctors. Can you imagine what that's going to do to the cost of medical care in Los Angeles?
Maybe we could raise the price of the paper, Mrs. Pinchon.
If the doctors are taking this anything like Charlie is, I'd hate to have an operation scheduled for tomorrow.
Central Fidelity Bank, Hawthorne College, First Pacific Trust Company. Well, Mr. Hume is certainly in very good company.
It's like a who's who of suckers, isn't it?
A total of $43 million unaccounted for. Oh, is there any chance that some of this cash can be recovered from the sale of properties, for instance?
It turns out that there wasn't that much property actually purchased. Most of the money just sort of disappeared.
A lot of it went into a bank in the West Indies. Milburn had a banking charter there, accepted money, and issued phony certificates of deposit.
But surely when he comes to trial, Mr. Milburn can be forced to reveal where that money is.
Not very likely, Mrs. Pinchon.
Oh, come now, Mr. Grant. The threat of prison. I should think he'd be anxious to talk.
Let's face it. The chances are slim that Milburn will do any hard time. He knows that. That's why he turned himself in.
Traditionally, this type of fraud has not produced very stiff sentences.
Strange, isn't it? A guy holds up a liquor store. He gets $20 and 20 years. Milburn steals millions. He'll probably get probation and be forced to teach a night class in economics at the YMCA.
Lou Grant will continue in a moment here on A&E.
How long is it going to go on, Charlie? How long are you going to sit here night after night without saying a word to me? Going over those papers? You're tearing yourself apart. When is it going to end?
When I get my money back. Every dime that crook took from me.
He's going to jail. Isn't that enough?
No.
Oh, Charlie.
Well, you were right about it, Marion. You must feel some satisfaction about that anyway.
Of course I don't.
Don't sit on it, Marion. Come on, tell me I'm a fool. You're dying to do that.
That's not fair. I haven't said a word.
Yeah, but you want to. Don't you want to say I told you so? Don't you want to say you screwed up, Charlie? Look, I can't live for the next 20 years without hanging unsaid over my head. I'd rather you just told me now, okay?
Okay. I don't know how to say it.
We lost a lot of money, Marion. You realize that?
Of course.
We're going to have to sell a few things to pay off our debts. Do you realize that?
Yes.
Well, how do you feel about that? You feel happy?
No, I don't feel happy. I feel, I don't know, confused. I know we've had a terrible loss. I know that.
I worked for 30 years. And it's gone. We've been wiped out.
You say wiped out. And yet when I look at you, you're still here. Your hair's a little thinner. But otherwise, you're still okay. I've still got you, Charlie. And so, the loss of anything else seems somehow not that bad. It's something we can get over.
Don't be a saint on me, Marion. The last thing I need right now is somebody who's perfect.
Okay. Okay, Charlie. Just be honest with me. What's left?
Well, we'll be able to keep the house. But the money's all gone.
I see.
You know, I keep thinking maybe I deserved what I got. Maybe I was just too greedy. Wouldn't listen to anybody.
You thought you were doing the right thing.
I feel so guilty. I let you down. Sorry.
Charlie.
How could I have been so stupid?
Charlie, don't. I can understand you regretting the loss, but no repentance, honey. We don't need it. I know it's sacrilege, but why don't we just say, to hell with it? And to hell with David Milburn.
Your mother always said I'd never amount to anything.
Oh, Charlie, please.
You're right. To hell with it.
Your Honor, I did not take a penny of anyone's money for my own use. I myself lost everything I had trying to salvage something from this unfortunate turn of events. I ask that you allow me to remain free. Free to go about the business of returning to these people all the money rightfully due them. In jail, I am no good to anyone. Free, I can make full and complete restitution and ask the chance to do so. Your Honor, I beg you to give me that chance.
All right, you may stand down. Before I pass sentence, I would like to make a few remarks. This has been a very complicated case. The sheer numbers of people and dollars involved is enormous. I would like to thank the United States Attorney's Office for thorough documentation, which indicates to me that this type of crime is no longer taken lightly by the Department of Justice. Neither is it by this court. Mr. Milburn, in the final analysis, you have deceived people and lived lavishly on other people's money. Money which in many cases represented the accumulation of a lifetime's work. To allow you to remain free would be a mockery of the law of this land.
Hello, Charlie.
Hello, David.
Listen. There's a lot that hasn't come out yet. All I ask is that you reserve judgment.
Uh-huh.
I didn't do anything wrong. Everyone will get their money back. You've got to understand.
I understand. It's taken a long time, but I really do understand.
What you think is important to me, Charlie?
You don't want to know what I think.
And when they gave him 10 years, Milburn's face dropped to the floor.
I'd say it was about 9 years and 10 months more than he expected.
It's really a stiff sentence for white-collar fraud.
Maybe it's the start of a new trend.
You think he'll ever tell what happened to the money?
No, he won't talk. He's got $40 million stashed somewhere. With time off for good behavior, he could be out of jail in 4 years. That's $10 million a year for sitting still. And then he picks up where he left off.
I don't know. I still don't understand how someone could be so dumb to fall for a... I'm sorry. I forgot.
That's okay, Ross. Lou, do you accept verbal apologies, or should I write one out?
Forget it.
You know, I talked to a couple of the other guys who were swindled. Blind, raging obsession seems to be a kind of a common response. Also, recrimination. And there are quite a few divorces on the horizon.
Everything Milburn touched turned sour, huh?
Not quite. Turns out he made a lot of young nurses happy.
What do you mean?
Some of these doctors were having affairs with their nurses, you know. Well, they never leave their wives because their wives would get half of what everyone thought was a very large estate. Then when Milburn wiped them out, they figured, why not? Nothing left to lose, so they moved in with their girlfriends.
Behind every cloud, see?
Hey, you never did get around telling me. What did you end up doing with your money?
Oh. Well, I thought it over for a long time. And then I decided to buy a baseball team. Give me that, Sweeney! We're still weak in a couple of areas, but we're young.
You ever get the urge to go down there and talk to the players?
I'm not the kind of one that throws his weight around. I've got complete confidence in my manager, and Coaching staff, players. That's a new ball. Isn't somebody going to get that ball? Those balls are $2.50 apiece.
Kid, it's my ball. Touch it and you're in big trouble. Hey! That's my ball!
It's an underground movement that's gaining momentum and members. Investigative Reports explores the deadly world of the new skinheads tonight. Now, he wanted the best for his family, but his salary just wasn't enough. A cop is caught moonlighting to finance his daughter's ice skating dreams on Police Story. Next on A&E.